Okay, Julie.
Yes.
So this episode is about grammar.
Mm-hmm.
And you know my history with grammar, love-hate relationship with grammar. But I have come to really realize that my love for grammar comes from a place of understanding its value, its significance in being a tool for meaning making. And so can we go a bit deeper into the Duke University email for how grammar is really a tool for meaning making here and what it is doing?
Yeah. So let's do a little recap though.
Yeah.
So in the word, was it about words? Yeah. Yeah. In that one, we were really looking at the professor's email.
Yeah.
Where she's coming from. And let's call it's not just a professor, it's like she's really speaking for the faculty, but also then the students' email. So they're using words to sort of like rename things and, like take back the power, show their power in a sense, right? Okay, so we said that words, it's not just words. The grammar is part of this, right?
Yeah.
So like grammar is playing, I think, a role here, which is about like who does what to whom. That's the construction we need to try to understand here.
Yeah.
So you started talking about active and passive.
Yeah.
Okay. Do we want to have a look at that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Also, so the first thing we should establish is that that grammar distributes agency. Okay, and so we're gonna try to like see how it does that. So agency in every sentence, like someone is the doer and someone is done to.
Yeah.
Right, and grammar makes these choices. Okay, so if we start with the professor's email, okay, so what do you see there?
So can we look at that first choice?
Yeah.
Like both faculty members picked out a small group of students who they observed speaking Chinese. So firstly, who is the they?
It's like this vague pronoun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who is the they? And it kind of, like, because you can't pinpoint who the they is, it kind of softens the observed nature, but it's still surveillance. So that's the first one. And the second one there, like, they wanted to write down the name so that they could remember them. And I just thought, okay, who's the them here? Yeah, it's just like, it just makes students sound like an object, like they're people, like they're not.
Yeah, but I guess you do that to, not point out any one person.
Correct.
Obviously,
Yeah.
And easier to do without like naming race or ethnicity or things like that. So yeah, like words like the word disappointed, it's like it doesn't do anything. Unintended consequences, the actions turned into a thing. As you say, the agent, it vanishes.
Yeah.
And that's the nominalization.
Yep.
That's the power of that, isn't it? Turning a verb into a noun. So yeah, they punish the students becomes there were consequences. And the doer disappears.
Yeah.
So yeah, these may look subtle, but they're actually doing something, quite important. Then we see all that passive voice, right? The subject receives the action and the agent can disappear entirely. So in doing that, that's really about like knowing how to use the passive and nominalization really well.
Yeah.
As I just say this though, I'm just thinking about how like these days with AI, it can just do it for you. So yeah, like I was just thinking, like why, like would students find that if you're still learning a language, would they be able to really like dig into that? Because before AI and all that, we we were like, wow, that's a really powerful tool. I got to learn it. Whereas these days, it's like, well, I could just ask AI to do it. But I mean, okay, you can ask AI to do it, but how are you going to do that if you were to orally,
correct,
go to somebody and fight for something that you needed?
But I think it's also like understanding the degree of nuance of to what extent do you want to absolve responsibility or blame responsibility or, to what extent do you want to assign agency or not assign it? Like there's so many depths and layers to that you would miss out by not understanding how grammar functions. Like if you were to just trust that the AI would do it for you, it could take it too far or not enough.
And you wouldn't know the nuance of how to massage that.
Correct, yeah.
But I was also just thinking, like, we have learners who are literate in Chinese. They would be translating from their first language. So they know the nuance of what they want to express. And even if they're in English, they don't know exactly what these words are doing or the grammar is doing. They sort of get it. That's the kind of more kind of interesting, I think, because if I can just do it all in my first language and then sort of like get by, the gist gets by in English, is that enough? I don't know. There's a lot of just questions that are that we would ask. In the past, if we didn't have AI, I would be like really like, you have to know this.
Yeah.
But then these days, because there are so many tools to use, I just don't know, like to what extent. I still think, of course, like as a teacher, I always want to help the students to learn these things. But we would have to like now really think about the digital tools as we, tell students how important these meanings are, like how to use those digital tools so that you can start to learn about nuance, for instance.
I think that's
like how to do that.
Yeah.
Okay, so we see the passive voice and nominalization being quite important.
But then let's look at the students because I feel like they do it very strategically in their own sense.
But maybe also we need to look at how the professor's email like makes the students are made responsible.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Yep.
So then it says something here like, when you choose to speak Chinese, right? So students as agents of a bad choice.
It's your fault.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you are not taking the opportunity. So you're agents of failure. I think that's quite interesting. Like, this whole email is now like making me think that, the faculty did nothing wrong. We were just sitting here and we were just like letting you have your experience, and then you're responsible for all these bad decisions. And now we're going to have to step in kind of thing. It starts to give you this kind of feeling. And then we look at the students, right? So, and when we said that they were kind of like flipping things, like this is where, you thought that we were the ones that were bad, but you just made yourself invisible, the faculty invisible, that you guys were just like sitting behind doing nothing. Actually, we're going to make you visible.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Like, so let's use the active voice.
Yeah.
Let's start naming who's involved.
And so, those words like Professor Neely warned. You named it agent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
2 unnamed faculty members requested, like straight into the names as well.
And the name's the surveillance.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. So Duke's faculty implied students would be punished. So the punisher is now visible too.
Yeah.
So this is how they're doing it. And this is why I say, like, they're not just doing it with words. They obviously need grammar to do it.
Yeah.
So this is so important. The concept of a functionalist approach, which is very foreign to a lot of language learners who have learned in traditional kind of grammar. I think this is where the functionalists like approach, grammar as a resource for meaning making. And I think, I love the way you started this, about your love and hate relationship. And probably your love and hate relationship comes from not being able to like remember all those rules that you were taught and boring and
So true.
and it just feels like tools like I can speak already, I can do all these things. Why did I know all those things, right?
Yeah.
Not that you actually tried to learn really hard. So that's really good. But I think that's the thing that scares people away when they're thinking about grammar. Is like they're only thinking about it as like these rules, and really like if we look at something like this and just if we were to start here and say, hey, how is reality being portrayed here by these words and these sentence structures? Who's doing what to whom, and what is getting done to by whom? Then we start to think about it just like a toolkit in there, and that tool, and I gotta use it. Then you're not so afraid. You probably don't have love and hate relationship like that. Then you think, oh, if it's for meaning making, how can I hold the agency, and how can I talk back? And then you're trying to do it. You're trying to learn something because it has value for you, right? And I now have a toolkit, right? So I think this is where the functional approach, not just rules, but for correctness, but that we do things function. We do things with language, and this is the really important example of how we need to. This is where I really think, the idea of grammar distributing agency, like if those who know how to do that and those who don't, you're going to be disadvantaged, right? Because grammar, there's so the subtleties, the nuance, but you have to be able to read into that. You have to be able to do stuff with that. But if you're not even aware of it, then how can you do anything? Isn't that the real reason why people using AI? Like, I don't know. And I'm overwhelmed, and I don't have any time. And well, I just get it done. And if you're in a culture that only values grades, then I'm doing you told me to do this, I'll do it. I got the grade, I'm done.
Yeah.
Okay, so problems of education and learning and teaching, I think, are so enmeshed in so many spheres, right? And it's all interconnected. So it's not an easy fix. When you ask me questions like, so what should the teacher do in this regard? It's like, well, the teacher could do 1,000 things, but may not make even a dent into the next sphere, where you have to actually get policies changed and, all that infrastructure.
But I think what I'm realizing is the whole politics behind teaching something like words, sounds, but also grammar, right? And in this case, like what Claire Cramp talks about the reason of the more powerful, like whoever controls the grammar controls who appears and who disappears. Drilling down to that level of nuance and understanding is just, wow, the body of grammar that you have to understand and know and encounter to do that work is immense, but also profound.
And we would think that students going to schools every day with all those subjects, they would be their knowledge would get deeper and deeper and expand more and more and more, right? But I'm sometimes not sure that for so many reasons, if that's happening, or if students are just kind of doing the same thing again and again, and just trying to do the model template well, and not doing what you just said, that deeper, and starting to see no matter how much I learn, it's just the tip of the iceberg, right? That's the real sign of a great education. And when my grad students say, "Oh, I still feel like I don't know much," I'm like, "That's right. How could you?"
Yeah.
But if you can't even come to that realization, that's amazing too.
Yeah.
Right. And so much, as you said, is about actual experiential stuff. You learn on the job.
Yeah.
You got to get out there. You got to teach. Yeah. So, yeah. But whatever, wherever you are, what you teacher, educator, teacher, leader, coordinator, it's all done with language, not just language, but language. And those nuances of like every interpersonal relationship you have, every email that you exchange, every little comment that you make in class to your students, it's full of, meaning. And you won't know like the meaning that I intended and the ways in which like I got 20 students in the room of all different walks of life, how they are absorbing this or not absorbing it. I often think, oh, this is like so huge. I don't even know where to start. But then you still gotta start somewhere. And hey, wouldn't it be great if we could start talking about sounds? I don't mean like phonics, like just talk about sounds and decode. I mean, let's talk about the sounds and also what those sounds do. Like, of course, you should know what the sounds are, but you should also know what they do in the world.